DeSoto Parish, Jayson Richardson is
Sheriff,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, what did I say?
DeSoto Parish.
Well, I was thinking about the basketball player. DeSoto Parish Sheriff Jayson Richardson is here. Hey, Jason, welcome back to Keel. How you doing this morning?
Doing good, Robert. How are you?
Not bad at all. You got the guy, right?
You caught the guy this morning, Gregory Jordan. Tell us the circumstances.
We certainly did. All of this began yesterday evening. Deputies were dispatched to a residence that basically he was not supposed to be at. He had been evicted sometime previous. While deputies were there, he came out of the woods and interacted with them verbally, and then produced a weapon and ultimately fired at the deputies. They did return fire. Obviously, we spent most of the night last night using every resource that we had available to attempt to locate him. And this morning we did locate him. He's currently at LSU suffering from what preliminary report shows that it's a self-inflicted gunshot wound, but he is in stable condition at this point.
You had said every resource. What is every resource?
From we had 35 to 40 deputies and state troopers. We also had helicopters and drones and our canines, as well as the Wynn Correctional chase team. They showed up last night, and so just any resource that we could possibly use, we employed it last night.
Where did this happen? Where was he found?
It was just out of Grand Cane, between Grand Cane and Long Street on Highway 3015. That's where the residence was that all of this transpired, and he was located in that same general vicinity.
And you say he shot himself? Were there shots exchanged prior to that?
There were shots exchanged last night or yesterday evening. No shots this morning. When he was located, he was already suffering from that gunshot wound, and he was able to advise that he had done that himself.
Gunshot wound, head, chest. What can you tell us about that?
To the chest.
Okay. Who else was at that home? Was anybody else in danger?
Yes. Initially, the subject that had called that was there to do some work on the house. They were there as well, and another subject that was with him. But that's about it.
Criminal history. This guy generally kind of a, for lack of a better term, bad guy. Were you familiar?
We've had some interactions in the past. He has had some stays in a facility, in a correctional facility, but nothing that would suggest it would get to this point.
Jason, I'm sorry. Sheriff, apologize. That, when we hear shots are fired at deputies, we think, oh, just course of it. We could have lost a deputy last night. You could be talking about a deputy killed. How close did we get to that?
Well, it's always within feet. I mean, you're talking about just a little bit different shot placement. We could be having a different discussion this morning, and it's always something that that when we first hear those words come across the radio, that it's gut wrenching until you find out that they're okay.
Isn't it kind of interesting? Interesting's not the right word to you. That you had said earlier in the conversation, this is not the kind of interaction, to use your word, with law enforcement that he'd previously had. You're probably, part of you's thinking, and your guys too, what the hell? What motivates you to open fire on the cops,
Right. And it's always, and sometimes people do have a history of negative interaction with law enforcement, but it seems through what I've seen that for whatever reason that's not always the case, and more often than not, it's an isolated incident where I don't know what puts the people in that position or that mindset to do those things, but it's not always the guy with the 20-page criminal history that you end up in that situation with. Sheriff,
did you seize a bunch of guns?
No. Actually, the the subject appeared to be living out of a tent behind this residence that he was no longer supposed to be at, and so he had very minimal assets, for lack of a better term. He did possess at least one firearm that we know about, and so there was he didn't have much else, and he didn't have much else that he had access to either.
You anticipate he's going to survive? I mean, this wasn't a life-threatening wound. Doesn't sound like.
As of right now, yes, that's we're being told that he's in stable condition. Obviously, that's still ongoing. We didn't locate him until just after 7 this morning, and so that's still kind of an ongoing thing. But right now, it looks like he's gonna be fine.
Sheriff Jayson Richardson, DeSoto Parish, thanks for joining us. I know it's been a busy morning.
Absolutely, Robert Nair. Thank you.